What's going on, everybody? You are now tuned in to the Triple M Boxing Channel, your source for all your boxing needs. And last weekend, man, it's a good weekend for boxing again.
Amazing.
Amazing
The
weekend.
next 2 to 3 weekends are actually going to be pretty good too.
Bro, it's boxing summer, man. That's what's happening. We get some crazy fights, and the future of boxing gonna be crazy.
I agree. Let's start with Mr. Bam Rodriguez.
Bam Rodriguez versus El Gallo.
El Gallo.
El Gallo, his idol when he was in the amateurs. That must have been a crazy feeling sharing the ring with someone he looked up to.
And not just that.
And knocked out.
Man. Being the first guy to knock him out.
Yeah, man. Let's go over that fight. What'd you think of it, man?
I thought it was an amazing performance by Bam. One thing about this kid, man, he's 24 years old, is his momentum right now is crazy. You know, that fight obviously was fun to watch. But one thing I noticed with him during that fight, he reminds me of a mini Manny Pacquiao. He's just happy to be there. You know, he got knocked down. He smiled and he said, "Hey, man, let's go. This is the fight." And obviously he got his idol, El Gallo, out of there, man. So I just think he's in here, and this is something that he wants to do for a long time, and he's just having fun with it, which is, in my opinion, is a dangerous fighter. You know what I mean? Like, people are out here trying to mean mug, fighters out here trying to be serious. This guy, obviously, not saying he's not serious. He's taking it seriously while having fun, and I think that's a dangerous mix for a fighter like him at a young age. And his future is bright in this boxing scene.
Yeah, man, he's 24 years old, literally in his prime, like
getting to his prime.
But yeah, he's pre-prime right now,
Yeah.
And like that was just a crazy performance. That knockout. Angles, bro. His angles. Yeah.
The way he used that angle to get him to the body, and it was night, man. El Gallo wasn't able to get out of there. And, man, mind you, El Gallo was the one that beat Estrada twice. I mean, not Estrada. Roman Gonzalez, Chocolatito, twice. So this guy is considered, you can argue he can be in the Hall of Fame, man. And, Bam was just able to. First of all, Bam went up and weight after beating Sonny Edwards, getting that championship, and now he knocked out El Gallo, and I think that at 24 he's already two-time weight division champion, and who knows what's in store for him, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, man, he has a big career ahead of him, and just that knockout, the amount of leverage he got on there, boom, right in the breadbasket, bro. Yeah. I was like, get up, El Gallo, get up. But no, he's not coming up from that.
No, he did like 10 or 11, man. It's like a Ryan Garcia knockout. But man, like I said, kudos to Bam, man. What's next for him? Man, the sky's the limit. Obviously, he wants to he's at 115 right now. He wants to unify the division. I think he's on his way to Japan right now to see those fighters. But, man, one thing I'm excited for is him against Nakatani at 118. And if it allows, man, because he's still 24, obviously he's still growing. If it allows, maybe in the near future, hopefully, him and Inoue can meet. That'll be a fun fight to watch.
Crazy fight to watch, man. Those two?
Yeah.
That's a 50-50 fight right there.
And Inoue is obviously on top of his game. He said he might move up to 126, but he's staying at 122 right now. Who knows, man? Bam, like I said, he's growing. It's just 7 pounds away at 115 to 122. Man, you never know. So I just can't wait for that one, if it happens.
Give him a few years, let him grow into his body a little bit more, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy, man. But that was a great fight. But the one fight that I was most impressed with this weekend, Teofimo Lopez versus Steve the Dragon Claggett.
What a fight.
Wow.
What a
Crazy
fight.
fight.
Yeah.
Amazing performance by Steve. Amazing performance by Tio. A lot of people, like we mentioned in the past, in the video before this, is that everyone was writing Steve off. Oh yeah, Tio's gonna take him out. Blah blah blah. What happened during the fight? He didn't take him out. Steve was in his face the whole time. Not even close.
Not even close.
There was a moment when I can't remember which round it was, where it seemed like Tio hurt him.
The uppercut.
The uppercut, yeah. But what did Steve do right away?
Move forward.
He was still moving forward.
Yeah,
Still
it's a good shot. It was a good shot.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's number one. People were writing him off right from the bat, saying, "Who is Steve? You know, what has he done? He has 7 losses. He's nobody. You know, they expected Tio to knock him out, man. And we, you and I know, man. Right when it started, you know, Steve will put that pressure on, which he did right from the bat, round 1. Pressure right away, and that's what Steve does, and that's what he mainly does. That's what all he does, right? And you know, when we got to like the rounds 3 and 4, towards the middle rounds, the announcers, let me say, they're just obviously biased to Tio, but they were just saying how, hey, Steve won't be able to keep the pace for 12 rounds. You and I know, we watched them, we know Steve. We're like, man, someone that's going to keep this pace for 12 rounds, even more than that, is Steve. And he did, man. From rounds 1 to round 12, he kept that pressure. And I thought it was a great performance by Steve.
I agree, man. Amazing performance. And like the scorecards were kind of wonky. I don't know what they were looking at. Like when me and you were scoring the fight live, bro, he had, I would say, the first 4.
Yeah. And I do agree. You know, I rewatched it, man. The first 4 rounds were close. First 2 for sure, Steve got it, and then the next 2 was a little, like I said, it was closer. You could have given it to either one, but for you to have a 12-0 shutout, it's ridiculous. You know, do I think Steve won? I thought Tio did enough to actually win the fight, but one thing I'll say is judges had it wrong. I think it's closer than what people, not just people, it's just really the 3 judges. A lot of people are saying it's closer than what the judges had him. And I agree with that. I'd say 8 rounds to 4, 7 rounds to 5. You know, it's as close as that. But I thought the right guy won in Tio. But you know, it was a good fight nonetheless.
The one thing I do want to say, though, is that the Mayweather effect got everyone messed up.
I agree.
Everybody messed up, right? Yeah, sure, Steve has a few losses, right? But he gave Tio that work. Everyone, like we mentioned all the time, people writing him off, but just you wait, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is it's a good lesson for a lot of people to really learn that if someone does have a loss, bro, it's all good. Bro, they'll keep coming back stronger and stronger. And like Steve said, he's not done. He has plenty of fight left. And this fight just shows that he has what it takes to stand with the top guys.
100%, man. And also to add to that, look at Tio's face and look at Steve's face after the fight. Just being honest. You know, CompuBox had him not like landing way lesser punches than Tio. Which I disagree, man. At the end of the day, your face tells the results. Yeah, Tio's face swell up easy. Yes, it does. But if you compare it to last fights, like previous fights, his face weren't like that. Like it wasn't that swollen. That means he got hit, and he even said it. He even said that Bob Arum wasn't, you know, happy with his performance because, like I said, people were counting Steve out right away, saying that he's gonna get knocked down. But man, what's next for both? For Steve, man, I think sky's the limit. You know, I think that performance will give him another opportunity for a big fight. Like I said, he's not done yet. I would love to see Eye the Tiger work with him to get him, you know, big fights. There's a lot, you know. You could, if you're looking to sell tickets, Steve is the guy. He comes forward and he gives you the fight. Maybe a Matias fight, you know, a comeback fight for Matias because he just lost to Pero. pit bull fight will just probably, you know what I mean? Like that will, oh my god, that's just a dream fight for me. Sky's the limit. You know, there's a lot of fighters out here that that's that's a good fit for Steve. Although I think he'll be a nightmare for anyone based off his style. But I'd like to see a lot of more bigger fights for him in the future.
I agree. And Teo, what's next for that guy, man? It's funny, and he's been calling out Crawford. It's like, bro, what?
Yeah.
Crawford?
One thing with Teo, man, and I'll give it to Teo, he doesn't care. I think to add to your point, saying that losses, Mayweather effect, and all that, how it might affect fighters' marketability. One thing a loss will do to you is it'll give you that IDGAF mentality because you already have a loss. What's one loss and two losses? You know what I mean? Like you already lost. So that Kambosos win, I think, is actually better for Teo. Reason why is because now he doesn't care anymore. He's calling out Bud Crawford at 147. He's even calling out, Ryan Garcia. He doesn't care anymore. So which is good. And what boxing needs is someone that just, fight the fight that we want to see. I think what's next for Teo is he's gonna move up to 147 and fight Brian Norman. He's gonna fight Brian Norman for 147, test the waters and see how it feels. But mind you, man, kudos to Teo for doing that. But what I noticed for at 140, Teo's knockout is not like his power isn't there at 140. He's a small guy at 140, so for him to go up 147, Brian Norman, if ever he gets that Bud Crawford fight, man, just taking that fight is a big step and good for him for taking that fight.
Exactly. Time will tell. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he does get that Crawford fight. Highly doubt it. Wishful thinking. But hey, if it happens, we're still watching.
That's what, exactly. But I think it's more realistic for Crawford to get Canelo fight before Teo gets the Crawford fight. Just business wise, it makes sense.
100%, man. So let us know what you guys think. What you guys think of that Bam versus Estrada fight? What do you think of that Teo versus Claggett fight? Was it closer than what the judges saw? What do you guys think? Let us know in the comment section below. And until next time, guys, we are the opposite of in.